Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Well, dear students, so we resume our talk with yet another very interesting material, and it is the Ecobind tiles. It's another green building material. Now, we already know that construction industry landfills a lot of waste which is inert and it consumes space in landfills. This is the reason also for polluting the land, and as you know, once land gets polluted, the water seeps in through this polluted places in the land, and it pollutes the aquifer below, causing water pollution too. Creating an innovative flooring material from waste products can be a great way to address the environmental concerns and also promote sustainability. Ecobind tile is a tile which is made up of waste materials but is bound for the landfill, which serves as an example of how circularity can be achieved in the construction industry. What do we mean by circularity? It means that a product, say for example, a product which comes from a raw material, this is utilized to create a building material, and after the life of the building material, this goes back into waste which becomes a necessary raw material for either the same original building material or another building material, and therefore this waste becomes the raw material for either the same building material or the next building material, and therefore the circularity gets completed. So, Ecobind tile, it's made up of waste materials which is bound to the landfill, and this serves as an example of how circularity can be achieved in the construction industry. These materials include waste from marble and stone processing, broken bricks, glass, ceramic shards, plastic, etc. So, it can comprise of recycled glass, or it could comprise of marble. I could add it here. It could be marble or quarry crush, or it could be stone, broken bricks or broken stone. So, I will say marble, stone, bricks, etc. And it can comprise of ceramic shards. So, ceramic shards which come from either the tiles, waste ceramic tiles, or from any other source, and it can have plastic waste. Along with that, we can also add natural fibers. So, natural fibers can be straw, bamboo, or any of these natural wastes. So, the floor tiles, these will be composed of a very unique blend of waste materials primarily derived from post-consumer and post-industrial sources. Various materials such as recycled glass, plastic, you name it, which falls in these categories that we have seen, comprises of Ecobind tiles. So, each material is processed individually and then combined to form the Ecobind tile. Suppose we look at recycled glass. This recycled glass is ground up recycled glass bottles and sometimes even window glass. So, this is collected and processed to form the base material. The glass shall be meticulously cleaned, sorted based on color and ground into fine particles. If we consider the plastic waste, so single-use plastics are used as a resilient binding agent with this recycling. So all the discarded plastic materials, which could comprise of single-use plastic bottles, plastic carry bags, packaging material, these can be transformed into a resilient building agent using advanced recycling technology. Then we could have natural plant fibers. So, a portion of the material can be enriched with natural plant fibers such as bamboo, straw or hemp. Now, these enhance durability and add a touch of natural texture to the tiles. The fourth component is the mineral fillers. So, mineral fillers, these are waste material powders from various industries like quarrying and mining. These are incorporated to improve the overall strength and hardness of the material. So basically, Ecobind tiles comprises of recycled glass, plastic waste, natural plant fibers and mineral fibers, all combined to give a product called Ecobind tiles. Now, let us look at the advantages of using Ecobind tiles. The first advantage is the sustainability or its environmentally conscious, environmentally sustainable contribution. By using Ecobind tiles, we are diverting the waste material from landfills to a useful product, which is the tile. Because of this, there is a reduced need for virgin resources, first-hand material. So, what happens is here itself your embodied energy of the material gets drastically reduced because upfront embodied energy becomes almost zero. This material promotes sustainability because of reduced upfront embodied carbon. Besides, this reduces the environmental impact of the waste which would otherwise be dumped as a landfill. Hence, these tiles are an example of circular economy because it diverts waste materials from the landfills and reduces the need for virgin resources. They promote sustainability and reduce the environmental impact unlike other traditional flooring or other conventional flooring materials. The second big advantage is its durability. These materials are highly durable. They are suitable for residential and commercial purposes. They have good wear and tear resistance, making them ideal even in high traffic areas. So they have good wear resistance. The third important advantage or contribution is its customizability. This material is quite versatile, and the versatility of the recycled glass allows for creative designs that mimic the appearance of natural stone or even unique abstract patterns. So, these are versatile and they have a variety of design as can be seen here. And the amount of plastic that is dumped can be routed to create these Ecobind tiles. The next advantage is these are very comfortable to use because they sometimes can have a cushioning effect, a soft padded effect due to the natural plant fibers, and these can be used for extended time periods. So, despite their durability, these tiles which have a slight cushioning effect because of adding the natural plant fiber such as bamboo or hemp makes them very comfortable to walk for extended periods. Then the fifth advantage, which is from an environmental point of view, is that these tiles are recyclable. So at the end of the life cycle, these tiles can be recycled into new tiles or other construction materials, closing the loop on circularity through waste management. The next advantage is these tiles, they are very cost effective because there is abundant availability of waste material, which is the primary composition, primary resource for these tiles. So, because of the abundant availability of waste materials used in the composition of these tiles are cost competitive compared to any other conventional flooring material. Let us look at a small study which was done on these geopolymeric tiles. So this study, it concerns the use of waste from glass bottles, fluorescent lamps and soda lime window glass, which is used in its entirety as a raw material in the manufacture of tiles by applying the technique of alkaline activation to generate an alkaline cementitious material. Now, the reason why this study was taken is that industrial waste glass from numerous application sources is a major source of pollution because only an estimated 30% is reused globally. The methodology that they followed was the intervention involves use of waste from glass bottles, fluorescent lamps and soda lime window glass as a raw material in the manufacture of tiles by applying the technique of alkaline activation to generate an alkaline cementitious material. This has resulted in compressive strength of tiles being very good and the maximum load supported before rupture of tiles was also tested. Sodium hydroxide was used as an activator in a concentration range of about 4 to 10 m. Manually produced tiles exhibit good properties as compressive strength of about 178 kg per centimeter square, and the maximum load supported before rupture was about 1000 newtons. Another study on recycling of waste glass as aggregate in cement-based materials was carried out. Fine aggregate replacement of waste glass. This increases by over 20% and can cause negative effects on the mechanical properties. So, it is found that 20% of cement can be replaced with waste glass of 20 nanometers without detrimental effect on the mechanical properties. Another study, which was on the investigation of the influence of various industrial waste materials containing rice husk ash, waste glass, and sediment soil for eco-friendly production of non-fired tiles. This study shows utilizing waste materials such as rice husk ash, brown glass cullet, and sediment soil for producing non-fired tiles over a duration of 7 to 28 days produced very good quality tiles and can be used effectively. Another study showed that from waste glass to building materials, an innovative sustainable solution for waste glass. In this study, mixing waste glass powder with resin as a binder and hot pressing the mixture under pressure could produce polymeric glass composites in the intervention, that is, mixing waste glass powder with resin as a binder and hot pressing the mixture under pressure to produce polymeric glass composite as an intervention produced excellent results, and the optimum PGC achieved a flexural strength of 48 megapascals. Its water absorption, its density and compressive strength had minimum scratch wear and UV degradation behavior, and it could be used as an alternative to regular building material. Next study shows the effect of waste glass and waste foundry sand additions on reclaimed tiles containing sewage sludge ash. In this study, multiple materials including waste glass and waste foundry sand were added in an attempt to improve the physical and mechanical properties of reclaimed tiles. The test showed that the waste glass had positive effect on the bending strength, water absorption and weight loss on ignition. This waste foundry sand contributed the most in reducing shrinkage, but could decrease the tile bending strength when a large amount was added at a high kiln temperature. So here we have seen studies being conducted to create Ecobind tiles, but the composition in all these 4 studies are very different and these are experimental. This gives options for us to be more creative in how we can use waste materials to create Ecobind tiles. Waste materials such as glass, recycled plastic, foundry waste, agro waste, etc. By doing this, we complete the circularity of the building material and ensure that no material ends up as a landfill and as a waste. Hence, we conclude that Ecobind tiles represent an innovative and sustainable approach to flooring materials. They address waste management issues while providing consumers with a durable and aesthetically pleasing option for the spaces. So, first is Ecobind tiles are very sustainable. Ecobind tiles are very sustainable primarily because they are made from so-called waste. And if these are not used, this raw material, which is a waste, if it is not used in the Ecobind tiles, it will end up in the landfill, further causing pollution of land as well as water. Therefore, this is a good example of waste management. How waste can be managed. Glass, which takes millions, billions of years to degrade and decompose, is one of the primary raw material. Plastics, which are a huge source of environmental nuisance, is another raw material because this plastic can find itself even inside human body as a microplastic. India being a agrarian country, there is humongous amount of agro waste or I would say agro waste such as straw, bamboo, hemp, and this can be another raw material, and therefore what would otherwise end up as a waste somewhere can be used as a raw material in these Ecobind tiles. Apart from these tiles can offer a lot of options for being creative in terms of their designs. So you can have variety of designs which can be customized for the color and texture. Hence, we can conveniently say that this is a good material for a greener future because these raw materials are not exhaustive as I have written here. This can comprise even of furnace slag or any other material which can be used after testing for its appropriate use here along with the other components. And the most important part of using Ecobind tiles is its circularity, which is becoming very, very important in order to be more environmentally conscious. Thus, today we have seen a material Ecobind tiles, and this Ecobind tile as a concept contributes a lot to preventing waste from getting dumped. It also showcases the potential of repurposing or reusing materials for a greener future. If India is to meet its net zero energy targets and net carbon reduction targets, it is important for architects, civil engineers, designers to even, they themselves can promote the use of Ecobind tiles. And the best part of using these tiles is that the composition of the tile and the raw material of the tile can be customized, leading to various options in terms of design and texture. And this can be done based on the availability of the raw material. So with this, we will stop today's class and we will continue with the next class.